My goodness, I got to tell you, I did not enjoy that. Paulo Costa taking on Sean Strickland. The number one fight in UFC history that I did not enjoy. I didn't watch it, but I knew it was going on. I got up and walked out of the room. How's that for a drama king? What a drama king by me, right? But I did. I still don't like to hear about it, actually. It was Uriah Hall versus Kelvin Gastelum. And I just did not want to see those two fight each other. At any rate. Strickland versus Paulo Costa for very different reasons, but it's along that same vein. I'm just personalizing it. So I'm looking at this fight from a lot of different angles. And I did know, and I did share with you guys, you were going to see a different Sean Strickland tonight. You'd seen every version of Sean Strickland there was, except an angry one. A lot of times when the guy fights with emotion or he gets angry, that's bad. In fact, generally, as we talk about those things, we say that they shouldn't do it. And that's true. Whoa. What a deep couch. Did you see that move? What a deep couch. How are you supposed to get... What kind of a couch is this? Falling off this thing. All right. But there was something about the idea of Sean Strickland who was overall... He's got an anger inside of him. And he channels it, and he does not bring it anywhere. His fiance doesn't know anything about it. You guys don't know anything about it other than the stories he's told you. He hides it. He buries it. He's used martial arts to get some of that out so that he's not that person. He does not get into martial arts to be that person, but he was going to bring that anger. And there was just something about knowing Sean personally and then knowing he was angry and that he was going to fight angry, that instead of suggesting for you that would be a negative, that it would be a problem for the opponent, which was Paulo Costa. Now, Paulo made some changes as well. I don't know why. I don't have the back. I can't answer. I have questions, but I can't answer them for you. For example, he went out to the PI. He did his training camp in Las Vegas. And I'm wondering, well, did he bring his same teammates? Did he bring his same coaches? Because when that happens, when a guy brings his teammates and his coaches but goes to a different facility, there's some type of a distraction in the area that he's in. His friends, his surrounding, his families, whatever it might be, but there's a distraction that is getting in the way. So he takes the same environment to do the same thing somewhere else to eliminate that distraction. That's really interesting stuff, actually. I would be curious if that's what happened. I would be equally as curious if he had a different coach. If he went out and worked with different guys. And there was a different Paulo that fought tonight. I have seen Paulo Costa in the practice room dating back as early as 2013. I have never seen Paulo Costa move backwards. Tonight I watched him move backwards for the better part of 25 minutes. And he had an angry Sean Strickland. So Sean had to make some real adjustments tonight. As much as you've never seen Paulo moving backwards, Sean did not plan for a Paulo that was moving backwards. And Sean had to make adjustments. And you start walking a guy down, that is how you get knocked out. And Sean does some stuff with his hand that bothers me. He holds it like a boxer. If he had 16-ounce gloves on, boy, he's just doing perfect. But in MMA gloves, it bothers me. But he is such a master of range. You guys remember Matt Mitrione, when Mitrione would fight? Mitrione's superpower was not his strength or athleticism. His superpower was his eyes. He could see punches. Mitrione could move an inch backwards. He could have a Fedor missile coming at him that would knock you out cold if it touched you. And Mitrione could just move his head back and half an inch and it would miss by a quarter of an inch. He had eyes for the sport. Strickland has eyes. Strickland is doing algebra and geometry and calculus right in front of you. You guys remember that you ever watched somebody play pool and then they broke it down and showed like a John Madden where they break it down and do the X's and O's and the lines, but they explain the geometry like, okay, here's where the ball is and here's where the ball is. So, but pure math, if you can hit the ball in this spot, you will put it in the corner. Like, have you ever seen those? If you haven't, it's very interesting, but you will understand, right? This train leaves Pittsburgh going 60 miles an hour, and this train leaves Atlanta, and they're both headed for Jackson Hole. Which one will get there first? And it's one of those things. When you're in the ring and you're fighting, you are constantly doing those calculations. And you have to be a level of a genius to know it at all times. Matt Mitrione was that kind of a genius. Sean Strickland has that kind of genius. People talk about fight IQ, right? Like the last person you're ever going to call some brilliant guy is a cage fighter. I get that. But there is some brilliant things that those guys known as cage fighters do. And where does Strickland go from here? Like, how good do you guys think he looked? Because he looked awesome. And Paulo Costa didn't look bad. He was just going backwards. Paulo Costa, because he was going backwards, couldn't mount an offense. But all night long, with Strickland throwing at him, go look at Paulo's face. He's as beautiful now as when this match started. His defense was on point. He was hard to hit. But it's hard to win a fight that way. So Sean Strickland looked really good. Can we agree on that? Okay, great. Is it enough to move in front just of an argument, the idea that the winner of Whitaker Chimaev becomes the number one contender, right? It's an interesting spot. I hope that something good happens to Sean. I think he should be rewarded. I don't suggest that Whitaker and Chimaev should be punished, but I think he should be rewarded. I like the backup position idea for Perth. I hope I'm not the only one that likes that, but I would love to hear your opinion.